Campus police dispatch picks up a hang-up from a dorm room. The call lasts 3 seconds, then silence. The operator calls back and gets voicemail. A patrol car drifts past the residence hall and sees nothing but a lit stairwell and a vending machine glow. The hallway camera holds a still frame of the exit door. No one comes out. Her name is Lila, a sophomore in biology. She studies late most nights at the library. Tonight she messaged a classmate about a quiz, then nothing. Her roommate wakes to the light from Lila's desk and thinks she's in the lounge. She is not. Officers knock, announce, and are let in by housing staff. Lila's desk lamp is on. A hoodie lies over the chair back. Her backpack sits open with a lab manual, highlighters, and a campus map handout. The bed is made in the fast dorm way. Sheet straight, blanket pulled. The window lock is set. The phone charger cord hangs empty from the outlet. The resident advisor walks them to the camera room. A monitor shows the stairwell landing and the hallway that leads to Lila's door. The footage plays. Students pass in pairs, alone, with pizza boxes, with laundry carts. The timestamp rolls. Lila does not appear. The hall never shows her leaving. A card reader keeps its own memory. Housing pulls the access log. Lila's key card pings the main entrance at 12:58 a.m. There is no exit on the reader because doors swing open for everyone. The cameras do that job. The last ping is that entry, after the log is empty. Campus IT maintains a Wi-Fi mesh, a campus network of access points that note brief device brushes. Phones and laptops brush it even when they sleep. The network records brief handshakes. A device looks for a known access point, keeps local logs of probes and brief authentication attempts. The access point waves back. At 1:03 a.m., Lila's phone brushes the mesh near the library's south doors. After that, the mesh for her device goes quiet. Officers call her boyfriend, Aaron. He answers slow and says he was at his apartment, 2 blocks off campus. He says Lila left the library and walked home. He mentions his fitness app in a walk segment that logs 22 minutes. He says she texted him goodnight earlier. He asks if she's with friends. Detectives take the scene in the afternoon when the campus is damp and gray. They collect Lila's laptop and leave a plain note for the roommate. They request library cameras and door counters, then visit the study floor Lila liked. The librarian shows a chair by a window that looks at the quad. A pen cap sits near the keyboard. The trackpad is clean. The library pulls entrance counts by 5-minute blocks. Night students flow in, then taper. One camera shows Lila at a study table with a thermos. She leaves the table with her backpack, walks toward the south doors, and is out of frame. The camera does not see beyond glass. The detective assigned, Patel, asks IT for cell site records, CDRs, cell site logs that show tower sector wedges, not precise dots, call detail records, mark when a phone talks to a tower. They do not give a dot on a map. They give sectors and timing that narrow a wedge. Lila's number throughout the night never leaves a 2-tower wedge that covers the east side of campus and the block where Aaron lives. No ping out, IT says. No downtown hop. Nothing toward the river. She stayed in the wedge. Patel calls Aaron in and explains the plan. He asks for consent to pull the fitness app data. Aaron signs. His smartwatch counts arm movement. It can log steps even if the phone stays still. Sits on the table in a soft, scratchy loop. The app shows a 22-minute walk near 1 a.m. The step curve is steady, like a treadmill. The phone in his pocket tells a different story. Its accelerometer shows flat orientation for the same window. A phone stays still when a watch counts steps. Sometimes steps are not a walk. They are hands moving. They ask Aaron to walk them through his night. He says he watched a show, did dishes, and went out to check his mailbox. He adds that he will help in any way. He nods when Patel mentions camera requests and tower data. His eyes stay on the watch screen whenever it lights. A rideshare driver emails campus police after seeing a bulletin. His rear camera captured a figure in a blue hoodie near Aaron's lot at 1:19 a.m. The figure keeps its head down. The driver doesn't stop. The clip is silent. The light glare eats detail, but the blue reads as campus gear. The driver drops the file at the desk. He says he didn't think much until morning. Patel and a partner canvass the block. The lot's own camera has a high angle and a dirty cover. It shows the shape of a person crossing a lane and stepping between cars. It does not show a face. The timestamp matches the rideshare clip within a minute when synced to a reference clock. They mark the point and move on. Back on campus, the hallway camera still matters. They watch the midnight to 2 window again and again. Students pass, a few in slippers, one with a guitar. Lila's door opens once at minutes before 1. Her roommate pokes her head out, then goes back in. Lila never passes the lens. For her to leave without that camera seeing her, she needs another path. There isn't one. Patel explains the basics to Lila's parents over video. He says they are building a corridor of minutes. He says the records show her in a small area when the app says otherwise. He does not make a claim beyond that. He asks for a list of friends outside class. They send 4 names, 2 roommates from last year, 1 lab partner, and a cousin in Tacoma. Aaron returns with a small bag of chargers and says Lila left them at his place last week. He says he thought the police would want them. The bag is clean. The cables are wrapped with a wire tie from a grocery store. Patel thanks him and tags the bag. Aaron's jaw moves like he chews a hard thought and lets it go. Digital forensics pulls the phone backups from Lila's cloud. The most recent backup is days old. The phone wasn't on Wi-Fi long enough lately to push a full set. The partials end before midnight. Her last messages are short. Quiz sucks. Library smells like coffee. To Aaron. Leaving in 20. There is no home now. There is no walked in. They ask Aaron about the walk route. He describes a path from the library to her dorm. Across the quad, past the fountain, under the science building overhang. Then left to the residence hall. The route is 5 blocks. Cameras live on 3 of them. They request all 3. The science overhang cam records 2 students with umbrellas and later a skateboarder. No Lila. The fountain camera catches reflections in the water. No Lila. The quad camera shows a groundskeeper truck. No Lila. Aaron's fitness app keeps more than steps, it keeps heart rate. The curve around 1 a.m. is not a steady walk. It is spikes and dips. Stress reads like that. So does washing dishes. So does pacing a room while talking to someone who isn't pacing with you. They sit with Aaron and run a quiet exercise. Show me how you walk with the watch, Patel says. Aaron swings his arms and counts in his head. Now wash dishes. Aaron smiles and mimes scrubbing a pan. The watch ticks steps fast. Now hold your phone flat on the table, Patel says. Imagine a walk. The phone's accelerometer rests while the watch racks numbers. It thinks you walked, Patel says, but you didn't go anywhere. Aaron shrugs. If you say so. Housing verifies Lila's card wasn't cloned or reported lost. The card's last activity remains the 12:58 a.m. entry. They run a query for any late-night door propping alerts. None. Maintenance confirms no alarms were bypassed. The building is a box with known lines. Campus safety posts a sober notice. Missing student. Last known near the library. Tips come in waves. A barista saw someone in a blue hoodie. 2 other people wore blue hoodies that night. A jogger saw a couple arguing. The time doesn't fit. A professor thinks he saw Lila at a bus stop. Camera footage shows a different student with the same backpack. Patel calls the cell provider and asks for a more granular look. Timing advance, handover order, anything that narrows the wedge. The engineer explains it simply. The phone sat where it could hear 2 towers well. It did not hand over to the West Campus Tower. It did not stretch for the stadium sector. It heard the east and the south. That wedge includes Aaron's block. They split tasks. One team runs the dorm interviews again. Another team walks the streets between the library and Aaron's apartment, checking private cameras. A grocery store lens shows empty sidewalks and a cat. A church camera shows the bell tower chiming once. A pizza place camera shows a delivery scooter taking a wrong turn and correcting. By evening, the ledger has a shape. 12:58 a.m. entry at the dorm. 103 and brush near the library. A corridor of silence after that. A rideshare rear camera catching blue near Aaron's lot at 1:19 a.m. A fitness walk segment for 22 minutes. With a phone that doesn't move. It is not proof. It is an outline. 2 stories cannot both be true. They bring Aaron in again, this time recorded. Patel keeps his voice even. Did Lila walk home? Yes. From the library to her dorm? Yes. At what time? Around 1. We have her card at 12:58, Patel says. We have her phone near the library at 1:03. After that, her phone stays in a small area. She texted me later, he says. Show us, Patel says. Aaron scrolls, then stops. Maybe I misremembered, it was late. He looks at the watch and taps the face. The watch shows rings closing and a green check. Do you ever walk in place? Patel asks. Aaron smiles thinly. When I'm bored? Did Lila come to your apartment? No. Did you meet her by the lot? No. Did she text you she was home? I thought so. They let the silence do its work. It fills the room and moves around the edges. Outside, the campus quiets. Lawns glisten under pole lights. Study room windows glow like small tanks. In the dorm hallway, the camera captures a student with a laundry basket and another with a violin case. Lila does not appear. Patel writes a short list on a legal pad. Pull Aaron's building entry logs. Check the gym cameras for treadmill usage. Request smartwatch firmware notes from the manufacturer. Cross-match the watch's step window with its Bluetooth handshakes. Look for any campus Wi-Fi blips from Aaron's devices during the corridor. The list is not dramatic. It is work that turns shape into line. A campus chaplain knocks on Lila's parents' hotel door with coffee and a phone charger. They sit and listen to the plan. They ask if anyone has checked the creek by the botany garden. Patel says yes. He says they will check again. He promises only the next step. On the bulletin board outside the library, flyers hang for tutoring, for a lost bike, for an open mic. A new paper joins them. A photo of Lila smiling with a lab pipette, hair tied back, eyes on the camera. Below, a phone number waits. The quad stays bright under winter lights. The camera over the south doors watches the glass and the dark beyond. They start with Aaron's building. The front door runs on fobs. The log shows his tag at 1:12 a.m. and again at 1:41 a.m. The elevator camera records him at 1:13. Hood up, shoulders damp. He looks at the lens and then away. A hallway camera later catches him near the trash chute. He holds nothing when he goes in. He wipes his hands on his jeans when he leaves. Patel asks the property manager for router access. The apartment complex uses managed Wi-Fi. Each unit has a small access point with local logs. With consent from the landlord, Digital pulls Aaron's unit export. An unknown handset probes the network at within that window, and again at 1:26. It does not fully join. It asks for a network name that matches campus SSID. Then it goes silent. The vendor string fits Lila's phone model family. Randomized MAC, no name. They check the dorm again. No door alerts, no propped entries, no stairwell anomalies. The hallway camera never prints Lila. Her room shows no exit. Her card never hits a reader after 12:58 a.m. The building is a box. Boxes do not invent doors. Patel brings Aaron back with counsel present. The questions are small. Where were you at minutes after 1? Home, he says. Your fob shows you arrived at 1:12. I meant around then. Did you go back out? I checked my mail. At 1:41? He looks at the table. Could be. Did Lila come by? No. Did you meet her in the lot? No. Why does a handset like hers probe your router at 1:26? I don't know what that means. The walk segment on your watch starts at 1:01 and runs 22 minutes, Patel says. Your phone doesn't move. I pace when I think, Aaron says. Did you pace to make the ring close? He shrugs. Sometimes. Digital pulls the short 911 call and cleans the noise. 3 seconds. A scrape. A breath. A single syllable that could be door. The waveform shows a quick spike, then air. The handset's sensor log shows a drop from face to floor height at the same time. The floor in her room is vinyl tile. They keep that note small. They ask the campus gym for camera stills in case walk means treadmill. The gym closes at midnight. The last image shows an attendant killing rows of screens at 12:05. No one runs. The place is empty and blue. Patel signs a warrant for Aaron's devices. They bag the watch and the phone. They copy both and return them. The watch's raw accelerometer shows a pattern like dishwashing for the first 5 minutes. Short, fast arcs, then pacing for the next 10. Steady sway, and then a stop-start burst, like someone talking with their hands. The heart rate curve spikes in place. The phone's orientation stays flat on a table. Did you wash dishes around one? Patel asks later. Maybe. Did you talk to someone in your living room? I talked to myself, he says. Did you have Lila's phone? No. They ask Aaron for permission to view his building's interior camera clips around his door. He declines. The manager provides common area footage under the warrant. At within that window, a blue hooded figure moves at the end of the hall near Aaron's unit. The camera is high. The frame sees shape more than face. The figure's right shoulder bulges like a bag strap pulls it. Patel checks the dorm laundry room camera on Lila's floor. It points at a folding table. At minutes before 1, the room is empty. At 12:59, a resident drops a basket and leaves. No one else enters. No backstairs exits exist. The building's geometry keeps insisting. A campus IT engineer brings a simple chart. Lila's handset brushes the south library mesh at 1:03, then nothing until 2 probe attempts against Aaron's managed router. CDR data keeps her number in the east-south wedge the entire hour. If she walked to the dorm, the phone would have touched the west campus sector at least once. It did not. They run a controlled message instead of a call. Lila's roommate, Pings Aaron from Lila's account under supervision. Made it home. He replies in seconds. Good. Long walk? Then, I'm up if you want to talk. It is not admission. It is a reflex that fits only one version. Patel visits the library again. A janitor mentions a blue hoodie leaving it closing with a backpack and a second bag over a shoulder. The camera angle misses the second bag. The janitor points at the south doors and says he held one for the student. He cannot say a face. He can say the height and the gait were like the boyfriend. He shrugs. Lots of boys move the same. Digital aligns Bluetooth beacons. Aaron's watch searches for its paired phone at 102, 112, and 128. The strength at 112 reads very strong, same room. At 128 it is weak. Through a wall or down a hall. Lila's earbuds last chirped to her phone before midnight. No later beacon from them exists. If they were near Aaron's, they stayed quiet. They expand the search to dumpsters and alleys between campus and Aaron's block. Nothing. They ask small stores for inside cameras. A late deli shows Aaron at 12:31 buying dish soap and 2 instant noodles. He pays cash. He taps the counter twice while waiting. He pocket checks his phone and then stops when it vibrates. Who messaged you then? Patel asks. News alerts, Aaron says. May we see? He shakes his head. Old phone, cleared now. The DA's office asks for a storyboard, 1 page, 1 line per artifact. Patel writes in simple ink. Dorm entry 12:58 a.m. Library mesh brush 1.03 m. Watch walk 1.01, 1.23. Phone static. Fob entry 1:12 a.m. Hall cam 1:13. Router probes 1:24, 1:26 at Aaron's unit. Vendor consistent with Lila's model. Rear rideshare cam, blue near lot 1:19 a.m. Fob exit 1:41 a.m. The page doesn't accuse, it arranges. They ask Aaron about the 1:41 exit. Mail, he repeats. Your mailbox is in the lobby, Patel says. The camera shows you passing it. I needed air. Did you throw anything away? No. Did you carry a bag? No. A neighbor on Aaron's floor volunteers a clip from his peephole camera, a curved, grainy lens that shows shape more than face. It is grainy and curved, but it catches motion. At within that window, someone moves past carrying a dark bundle clutched to chest height. The bundle is rectangular. The neighbor thought it was a package. The camera records no audio. The outline is quiet and damning only when set next to other quiet outlines. They pull location histories from Aaron's phone with the warrant. Significant locations is off. System Services still keeps a routing cache. The cache shows a prompt at minutes later the prior day. Help reduce walking time? Aaron had tapped yes. It is a small human detail. It does not prove a night. It colors a story about roots. Lila's parents arrive at the station. Patel keeps his sentences short. He explains that the records point to a tight area. He says they will search water, lots, and roofs. He asks for permission to download health data from Lila's provider, in case a fall or spike exists. They agree. The account shows nothing after minutes before 1. The phone kept the rest. A day later, ground staff call about a backpack found behind a hedge near Aaron's lot. It is damp but zipped. Inside, notebooks, a library receipt, a lab manual, and a hoodie that matches Lila's. No phone. The hedge is within the hallway camera's shadow. The bag's straps are twisted as if removed quickly. Patel lays the items on brown paper. He circles watermarks on the notebook edges. He looks at the zipper pulls and writes closed. He swabs the straps. He does not say what he hopes for. He marks chain of custody and signs. They ask Aaron one last question set before moving. Do you know this bag? No. It was near your lot. I walked by there. The straps show recent twist, Patel says. I don't know bags, Aaron says. Where's Lila? He looks at the table. She went home, he says. You'll see. The room holds the words and then lets them drop. Patel signs 2 more warrants, one for a deeper pull on Aaron's managed router, another for unit-by-unit hallway footage from 1250 to 2 Roost. The plan is simple. Confirm the probe pattern, watch the corridor, and compare to the watch's arc. If the pictures and the numbers meet, the story that she walked has no place to live. Digital pulls the deeper router export. The unit's access point doesn't just see probes. It logs one brief authentication attempt at 125. The handset asks for a remembered network name, presents a device class that matches Lila's model family, then drops. 2 minutes later, the same handset repeats and fails faster. The log includes a tiny MDNS, a tiny network whisper that can leak a truncated device host name. Whisper? A truncated host name string that matches how Lila once named her phone in a lab chat screenshot. It leaks once, then vanishes. Hallway footage arrives for the full window. The elevator camera shows Aaron at 113, damp shoulders, hood up. The third-floor corridor records motion at 117. A blue hooded figure pausing near his door, a rectangular bundle clutched high. The peephole clip from a neighbor bends the edges but agrees on shape and height. At 141, Aaron passes the lobby camera without checking the mailbox he says he needed. He looks at the street, not the boxes. Sanitation unlocks the compactor room. On the second pull, a tech finds a cracked phone case with a sticker that matches Lila's lab joke. The SIM tray lies separate, bent. The board that once held the logic chip is fractured, but the serial on a daughter board is intact enough to read. It matches her provider's record. The plastic smells like dish soap. Patel logs the finds and keeps the language plain. He does not claim a fight. He claims a phone moved from someone's hand to a compactor between 2 building entries that belong to Aaron. The watch and the building tell the same story when drawn together. The step segment starts when Aaron says he watched a show. Its first minutes look like dishwashing. The next look like pacing. The last spikes fit someone talking with hands. The phone does not move. Its accelerometer reads flat. Its Bluetooth beacon searches once for earbuds it never finds. The router in his unit hears a handset like Lila's asked to join. Twice, then quit. They ask Aaron in with his lawyer for a final recorded session. Patel sets the items on the table in order. The cracked case, the SIM tray, the serial print, the router line with the host name fragment, the peephole still, the fob log for 112 and 141, the step curve. Where is Lila? Patel asks. I told you she walked. Your router heard her phone, Patel says. Your compactor room held her case. Your fob puts you here when her handset tried to join. Your watch walked while your phone stayed still. His lawyer lifts a hand. He denies harming anyone. We are not describing harm, Patel says. We are describing minutes. Aaron looks at the case and then at the wall clock. Lots of cases look like that, he says. He does not look at the host name line. They move anyway. The affidavit uses consistent with and according to logs. It avoids adjectives. It asks for a warrant on unlawful imprisonment, assault, and tampering. A judge signs before noon. The hallway smells like copier toner and wet coats. Search teams widen the grid one more ring. A maintenance worker finds Lila before sunset in a locked storage alcove off the laundry room in Aaron's building, down a short service corridor that cameras do not watch. She sits on a paint can with a blanket around her shoulders. She is conscious, hoarse, and careful with light. Paramedics check her and say words like dehydrated and disoriented. No one says anything big in the room. They walk her out through the lobby with a jacket over her head and a housing staffer on each side. At the station, Lila gives a brief statement with a victim advocate present. She keeps it to the path. She left the library and saw blue near the science building. She remembers a voice she knew saying, "Over here," and a hand, guiding, not dragging. Then a hallway she didn't recognize. She remembers a sink running and a phone buzzing on a counter that wasn't hers. She remembers a door closing and a chain clinking from outside. She remembers a storage room and a voice through the door that said, "I'll be right back." She does not go farther. Patel thanks her. He does not ask for more that night. The DA's office builds the charge memo without flourishes. They list the card entry at the dorm, the library mesh brush, the watch walk with a static phone, the fob entries, the router probes with an MDNS leak, the peephole and lobby clips, the compactor finds, the recovered storage room, and the short 911 hang-up. They ask for no contact and GPS. The judge grants both. Defense files motions. They call the router log ambiguous, the peephole distorted, the compactor contaminated. They say the watch steps mean nothing. They say college buildings hum with similar devices. The state answers with chain of custody sheets, vendor guides on MAC randomization and MDNS, and an engineer who explains in simple words how access points log nearby handsets. No one uses the word always. They use consistent with until the shape is clear. Aaron pleads not guilty. Bond conditions keep him inside a ring on a map. He turns in his passport. He surrenders his fob. He walks from the courthouse with his hood up and his hands in his pockets. Cameras watch him cross a street. He looks at the lenses only once. Lila goes home to her parents for a while. She drops a class and keeps another. She switches to mornings in the lab. She learns which stairwell at her hall feels better and which door sticks. The resident's life office changes the storage room lock and adds a camera to the service corridor. The laundry room hums the same way it did before. Students fold clothes and talk about exams. The door to the alcove now shuts with a hard click. Discovery becomes boxes and lists. The router export sits with a yellow tag. The watch accelerometer plot sits with a blue one. The compactor photo sits with a chain of custody copy. The peephole frame sits enlarged and printed on matte paper. The hallway logs line up in a stack. The story they tell is not dramatic. It is minutes that refuse to bend. Trial opens with small screens and short questions. The campus IT engineer explains meshes and brushes. The forensic analyst explains why a handset would ask the wrong network name in the wrong place. The janitor points to a blue hoodie. The neighbor says the bundle looked like a package. The sanitation worker says the compactor was new and loud and his hand shook a little when he lifted the case. The defense presses on ambiguity. The state answers with alignment. Aaron does not testify. The jury asks for the router page and the fob log during deliberations. They return with a split but firm verdict. Guilty of unlawful imprisonment and tampering. Not guilty of a higher count the state didn't insist on. Sentencing comes later, with conditions that draw a circle around campus and the dorm in Lila's name. The judge talks about paths people think they control and devices that remember when people forget. After, Lila walks across the quad with a friend. The winter lights stay bright. The fountain runs low. She holds a new phone in a bright case. She keeps keys on a lanyard and checks doors once, not twice. She studies near a window again, facing the south doors. She takes calls on speaker, not in closets. She laughs at something small and ordinary. Facilities add 2 cameras and fix a flicker over the science overhang. Housing adjusts the door closer in the storage corridor. Campus police update a checklist. Compare step curves with phone motion. Pull managed Wi-Fi logs early. Treat receipt times with caution. Ask for MDNS leaks. The list reads like work. It is. In evidence, the objects sit still. A router export with a single leaked name, a cracked case with soap smell, a watch plot that looks like dishes then pacing, a fob log with 2 times, a short call waveform that jumps and falls. None of them say where anyone's heart was. Together they keep a night from being a story that never happened.